Njuge umuthi tu ni nyonire ni wega njuge kaundu na koti kanene wa mbere njuge ni ngucokeria andu a Kenya ngatho ni kanya karia mahete gukorwo ndi chairman wa budget kahinda kau ndiratungatire ni kahinda karaheire kanya ga guthoma maundu maingi muno megie uthondeki wa budget megie uhoro wa bururi uria bururi urutaga wira ku understand thirikari na aria itindikanaga na maundu mayo na ngacokia ngatho ni kanya kau. Wa keri ni ngwenda njokie ngatho ni tondu ndirageire kanya ga guthoma maundu maingi ma uria economy ya bururi irutaga wira na ndirona ona ndathomete economy hau mbere ni undu wa kanya gaka ndirari nako ga gukorwo ndi budget chairman gatumire ona njoke thukuru nyambiririe guthoma masters degree igire hamwe cia masters imwe university imwe KU gukuria ndekire ya mbere ya masters of economics in public policy na ngiambiririe ngi University of Nairobi masters of arts in economics tondu ndonire ndirabatara ona nie kurikiria maundu matua ma bururi na matua ma uthii wa na mbere na koguo njuge kanya kau ndirari nako na ng'ang'ana hari ngirahotire na njokiria andu aria turarutaga nao wira ngatho ni tondu wira uyu ndungirutwo mundu wiki na wa muico ni ngwenda njoe kanya gaka nyendithirie uria roire kanya kau wega ndimwendithirie gu succeed ni wira muritu uria ngutaririe hau kabere ati rimwe ni turakomaga office ino tukiruta wira na koguo ndona ni wega tondu ni turaragia na ni ndiroikaine ta chairman wa budget ndona ni wega njitane heane ndumiriri iyo umuthi. Wa mwisho mniruhusu tu niseme hii ikiwa ya mwisho, mambo ni mengi tutasema baadaye. Njuge na ndiracokia ciuria kiria woria na irie kuritio mbere na githungu mahinda-ini maya kurathiaga uhoro uyu wa gucenjanio gwa iti na ndirauga uguo tondu ni ngwenda kuraumu mundu, ndirauga uguo tondu ni wega rimwe kuigaga indo record. Ni gutire mundu uhurire thimu atongoria itu a coalition atongoria itu agi thirikari gutire mundu wanahurira thimu kunjira turenda wiki o kana turenda ucenjerie hana kana ni turenda gukuruta kana turenda gugucenjia kana gugutwara haria hangi. Ni gutire mundu uri wahurira thimu kana akanjita tukariria uhoro uyu o uria Kenya ingi marathomaga ngatheti-ini ona ni noguo ndirathomaga maundu manjigie ngatheti-ini na njuge maundu maria mangi makuritio miario iraritio bunge last week miario ikario maybe irakiegemana na nie ta mundu kiumbe. Njuge ni nyonete ndi mutongoria ungihota ndugacokie uru na uru ona ndugacokie kirumi na kirumi. Koguo ni ndigucokia uru wa mundu na uru na ndigucokia kirumi na kirumi kingi. Mahinda riria mahinda maheo mathaa mahinda mo mwenyewe ni mariaja tukwihoka tu o mundu hari ari ahinyie wira wake tondu wira ona ingiuga ciugo milioni imwe ndingiruta wira wa gwaka kirathi kimwe na ona ingihumania na mundu miario gutiri hindi irugamagirira ona mita imwe ya gwaka bara. Koguo ni wega nie hakwa nie kiumbe nyonaga ni wega concentrate na mawira tondu wira niguo uguthie mahinda manene. Na wa mwisho biu nie ta ndi Nyoro ni njui biu kuma haria nie nyumite kuma family ria njiarirwo kuma maundu maria ndioneire na maitho ati nie ndi Nyoro tinya wakwa unginyitie haha na koguo ni ngoragwo ngimenya ona maundu mangi maingi ti micoro yakwa na ugi wakwa ugi uria guo ni Ngai uheanaga na ni uria ingiuria mundu wothe uratwirorera nie kiria tu ingiuria mundu wothe muciari wakwa my brother my sister ni magatuhoyagira kaingi na nie mwene ngoria mahoyagire kaingi niguo ngatuaga matua maria maratwarana na uria Ngai angienda. nĩ tondũ rĩrĩa watua matua ta macio ndũbataraga kũruta wĩra mũingĩ umithio kuonekana. Na koguo niĩ ndenyihia ngiuga niĩ nĩ njũĩ Ngai nĩ atũhete ũgĩ, yes, no nĩ njũĩ ũgĩ ũrĩa guo nĩ Ngai ũheanaga, na ũgĩ ũcio ũkaga nĩ tondũ wa Ngai we mwene kwenda, na ũgĩ ũcio nĩguo ngũria andũ othe matũhoyagĩre nĩguo tũgakoragwo twĩkindĩrĩte ũhoro-inĩ ũcio. I know there are many other things we'll talk about. That is Deng Xiaoping. If you read the story of China from 1978, he's the one who transformed the economy of China in many respects. So that's why his photo is there. So Deng Xiaoping is actually the father of the Chinese economy as we know it. From 1978, he took over from when Mao Zedong was president. Mao Zedong unified the country, but the person who actually made the basis of the country's economy was this one, this Musyoka. It's not part of the press. I'm waiting for others to say it because he has. And of course, this one, you know him. This is the Turkish president, current. This one, of course, the current Chinese president. That man over there, I can see my brother pointing, is General Park. General Park was the president of South Korea from around 1960. And I'm saying so because these things are also very important to all of us, even if they are not the ones that brought us here. The history of South Korea from 1960, he started something that was called an export-led economy. That General Park, that man over there. And he wanted to turn around the economy of South Korea through growing exports. So what he did, he established a committee that was meeting once every month. And for the 19 years he was president of South Korea, he attended all the meetings. And between that time, the exports of South Korea grew by 364 times. So the Chinese brands you know about, Samsung, like the phones most of us are using, Hyundai, companies called Chaebols. He's the one who came up with a model where the government was heavily involved in growth of private enterprise. So they literally supported some Chaebols, big corporations, which dominate the South Korean economy to date. Of course, we were chini, anaitwa Lee Kuan Yew. I'm sure you all know him from Singapore. If you start, the reason why, even as I talk about Lee Kuan Yew's country was the same level as Kenya when they were gaining independence. Even the odds were more. But he transformed the economy of Singapore to the one we now read and see, where their GDP per capita is multiples of ours, just as all the others. And the reason they are all here, I have their photos, is because the economies are more relatable with ours. When we read about countries that grew many centuries ago, we may not relate. But all these, they have grown actually in our lifetime. China, as we know, grew from 1978. South Korea from 1960 and the rest. That was off the cuff, as I wait for you to say. Yes. 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 Yes.
That's why is this the reason you are so passionate about it?
I think you've already gone to the press. But yes, thank you very much. The reason they are here, if you read the story, let's say, of the big countries like the US, we talk about 1770 something. But these ones, they have grown in the lifetime of Kenyans as we know it. China, the Chinese GDP per capita, if you look at it in 1976, when Mao Zedong was leaving office, maybe a Kenyan was more richer than a Chinese. South Korea, the same. The economy was dominated by rudimentary and basic kind of production. But now, as we know it, high-tech. So, because it has happened in a time where we can relate, that is why I love reading about these men. That's why I put their portraits here, so that when I come every day, I can strive to do the much they did. I think we can now start. Yeah? Okay.